We pinpoint the root of your pain, and we combine these powerful 100% FDA-approved pain relief medicines. If thousands of patient confirmations tell us anything, you're going to experience pain relief. And because of this, your quality of life increases, and you'll start living better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. There's much more to life that you've been missing because of your pain. This isn't even about taking a chance. It's about taking your first step to living pain-free. Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment so we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They flew all the way to Milwaukee just to find out this ain't no bird sanctuary.
Crossing over, nice feed inside. Sims hammers it down with a dunk and another one coming on the house.
The Bucks and the Hawks face off at Fiserv Forum.
Giannis takes off the other way, hammers it home, a little exclamation point.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Wednesday, March 4th. Your top story, does the president have authority to begin a war?
I'm Jessica Ty, putting out a fire at Lambeau Field.
Partly cloudy today, some good pops of sun, high of 54 degrees, a little cooler near the lake. Tonight, a chance of drizzle, cloudy, patchy fog possible, and a low of 36. It's 45 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee. At 12:01 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, lawmakers set to vote this week on measures aimed at curbing the use of the U.S. military in Iran. A vote in the Senate is expected later today.
Despite the language being used by the president, House Speaker Mike Johnson says the U.S. is not at war.
It's a defensive operation.
One that Johnson says is the right thing to undertake. He says passage of war powers measures aiming to direct the president to withdraw U.S. forces would be a terrible, dangerous idea.
I believe we have the votes to put this down, and I certainly pray that's true.
The war powers resolution was enacted over Richard Nixon's veto in 1973. No administration since has viewed it as constitutional. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
For a second straight day, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is in the hot seat on Capitol Hill.
Testifying before the House Judiciary Committee, Noem touted the safety at the border and the departure of 3 million undocumented immigrants. Democrats criticized her for calling Renee Good and Alex Preddy domestic terrorists after they were fatally shot by federal agents in Minnesota. The committee's ranking member, Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin.
You've provided no evidence to back up your defamatory lie against either of these American citizens.
New York Democrat Gerald Nadler.
Your agents are running amok, and you're doing nothing to hold them accountable.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Milwaukee leaders are calling on the Public Service Commission to reject a data center rate proposal. The Common Council unanimously adopting a resolution opposing We Energy's proposal to create a separate energy rate for large data centers. Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich says it's not a good deal for Milwaukeeans.
I'm not here to argue whether AI or data is good or bad. What I'm here to say is that we must have transparency because there are severe impacts here.
The council is also drafting a resolution that would put a 6-month pause on data center development in the city.
Governor Tony Evers is urging Congress to modify new federal regulations on hemp.
The federal law would ban the sale of most hemp products and limit the amount of THC in those products to trace amounts. It was approved by Congress last year and is set to take effect this fall. Governor Evers says the federal hemp law would cost the state $700 million in economic impact and nearly 3,500 jobs. There are nearly 500 licensed hemp producers in Wisconsin. The governor says many of those producers could be forced to close, impacting many rural communities. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And a fire breaks out inside a Lambeau Field locker room.
Security was calling us in.
Is this Lambeau Field?
Affirmative. It's going to be an active fire in locker room 3.
Audio there from Broadcastify. Firefighters say the fire was confined to a small locker room and quickly extinguished by the sprinklers. Cause of the fire is under investigation. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A roller coaster week continues here on Wall Street. The Dow is up about 325 points, trading just under the 49,000 mark. NASDAQ up about 330 today at 22,845. And the S&P is up about 60 at 6877. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
It's the Brewers versus the Cubs today. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, "Please God, no."
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Use daily. One platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited has become Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer by building decks the right way and the safe way. Imagine a design for your backyard that includes an amazing new deck, railing, and stairs. Want to add other features? Outdoor Living Unlimited can do that too. Free estimates and ideas. Start the process by going to outdoorlivingunlimited.com today.
Hi, WTMJ's Sandy Max here to tell you about incredible career opportunities with my friends at Three Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman. Three Pillars is ranked best in continuing care, assisted and independent living, and it's a certified great place to work. They're hiring caregivers within their assisted living and memory care communities. Full and part-time day or evening shifts starting at $20 per hour, and you could get more based on experience and shifts. The best part, you'll make a difference in the lives of others every day. Go to threepillars.org and click on the Careers tab to learn more.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers resume the Cactus League season today against the Cubs. We'll have it for you with coverage beginning at 2 o'clock at WTMJ. The Bucks' 5-game homestand continues tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. Bucks forward Bobby Portis.
22 games left. Obviously, a lot of ground we have to cover to get into a play-in situation. New waters for us, new uncharted waters for us. Really not used to being in this situation, but just staying together is big.
Late night start here tonight. Coverage gets underway at 8 o'clock for an 8:30 tip from Fiserv Forward. College basketball, the Green Bay Phoenix men's team advances to the second round of the Horizon League tournament with a win over Purdue Fort Wayne. The Milwaukee Panthers take on Detroit Mercy tonight in Michigan. And Marquette wraps up the road portion of the Big East schedule tonight at Providence. Hear that game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. It is a day of disabled vehicles out in the system, but hey, we'll take that over crashes for sure. We have a number of disabled vehicles. Most are not causing any problems, but let me alert you to the newest ones. These popped up just about 2 or 3 minutes ago, depending on which one I'm talking about. This one here, just a couple of minutes ago, I-43 South at the ramp from Wisconsin Avenue. That's a busy spot. Left shoulder is blocked right now due to a car that's broken down. And we have another new one as well. This one happened just after noon. I-43 North at Layton Avenue. It's right there at that curve. The right shoulder is blocked due to another car that's broken down. Not too busy right now, but that can be a tricky spot, and some cars are coming up fast on that car that's broken down to the side.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Every Monday and Thursday, buy one pizza, get a second pizza absolutely free at the Mineshaft Family Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Google the Mineshaft today.
Partly cloudy today with a high of 54 degrees inland. Cooler near the lake. The high just 46. Might see a little rain tonight and a low of 36. Rain likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Partly cloudy, breezy. Chance of some afternoon and evening storms. You might hear some rumbles of thunder, see some lightning on Friday. High 64 inland, 60 near the lake. We're down to 50 for your high on Saturday. 43 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
A little tighter version of Wisconsin's Midday News today. We've got Brewers baseball coming up at 2 o'clock. Brewers played Great Britain yesterday in this weird exhibition game, but they got the Cubs today. And I know it's spring training, but is there ever really a bad time for the Brewers to get a win over the Cubs? I don't think so.
No, we will just keep stacking them up. Rack them up. Let's get another one today.
2 o'clock, our broadcast time today between the Brewers and Cubs.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
In just 1 hour, a now former Milwaukee police officer accused of misusing police equipment to keep tabs on his romantic partner is due to make his initial appearance in court. 33-year-old Josue Ayala is charged with misconduct in public office. Prosecutors say the Milwaukee police officer improperly accessed the flock camera system while on duty, looking up the license plate of his dating partner and that partner's ex to monitor their whereabouts. Flock cameras scan license plates and have helped police across the country track down stolen cars and criminal suspects. But they've also come under scrutiny in recent years over fears of mass surveillance and who can access the data. Milwaukee has more than 30 flock cameras across the city. Ayala is accused of looking up his partner's information more than 120 times and that person's ex more than 50 times.
Well, the 2026 World Championship Cheese Contest is happening right now. I'm a little bummed we're not there in Madison at Monona Terrace Community and Convention Center. This is a big deal. It's been going on since 1957. Over 3,000 entries, 25-plus countries, over 150 different cheese, butters, yogurts, and other dairy products represented here. Rebecca Sweeney is the senior director of the Wisconsin Cheesemakers Association.
Wisconsin has so much to be proud of, and they always rack up a lot of gold at the World Championship Cheese Contest, in spite of the fact that they're up against incredible makers, the Netherlands, the Danes, the Italians. They're all bringing their A game, and Wisconsin does very, very well in comparison.
It kind of sounds like the Olympics, right? Wow, the Netherlands, my goodness, boy, they're dangerous on the ice and speed skating, and they can certainly make some cheese. The event is organized by the Wisconsin Cheesemakers Association. You get a 100-point scale. Flavor, body, texture, salt, color, all part of the criteria here. The winner, the grand champion, will be announced via live stream on March 5th. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I wonder if we can carry that live. It'll be on their Facebook page.
Who's going to be the big cheese?
Right? You from France, I think I think Wisconsin cheese was second runner-up last year in the competition. Some sort of variety from France ended up winning.
We have some great cheese here in Wisconsin, no doubt about that. Well, U.S. job creation and salaries picked up momentum in February. ABC's Jim Ryan has the new numbers just in today.
Based on payroll data from more than 26 million American workers, payroll processor ADP says 63,000 jobs were added to the private sector workforce last month, nearly triple the number from January. The lion's share were created in the southern region, with education and health services leading the way. The ADP report finds that year-over-year, average pay was up 4.5% in February.
ABC's Jim Ryan. It is 12:12 here on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopco Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Hey, thanks, Vinny. Siding Unlimited, truly siding at a whole lot more. Boy, now's a great time to get outside and check out the house. How did it hold up in winter? Windows, doors, roofing, siding, is all that stuff still looking good? Or maybe you got an issue or two. Well, if you do, really any issue, Siding Unlimited can help solve the problem. Windows, Pella, Sunrise, all right there. Siding Unlimited deals with great manufacturers, great products, but they also have great installation teams and the awards to prove it. Whether it's a door issue, siding issue, roofing issue, you name it, Siding Unlimited controls everything that beautifies and protects your home on the outside. It is Siding Unlimited, truly siding at a whole lot more. Check out their showroom. Check out their website. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Spring is quickly approaching, and it's the perfect time for you to get an awning installed so it's ready once the temps warm up. Comfort Awnings is a local, family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Receive a free motor with the purchase of any retractable awning or screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Well, pretty nice day today. It's definitely one of those cooler by the lake sort of days. 56 your high inland, 46 your high closer to Lake Michigan. Sun throughout the bulk of the day. You'll get some clouds rolling in later tonight, maybe a chance of rain later tonight. Tomorrow, rain likely with a high of 43. Could see some thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 60. It's 43 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:16.
For more than a century, the Downer Theater on Milwaukee's east side has been a part of first dates, family traditions, film festivals, and those random Tuesday nights when you just needed some popcorn and a great story on the big screen. It's Wisconsin's oldest continuously operating cinema, and now it officially belongs to Milwaukee. In a major move for local arts and historic preservation, Milwaukee Film has purchased the historic Downer Theater, securing permanent local ownership. Now it's launching a multi-year campaign, a capital campaign to restore and modernize the 110-year-old theater. So what does that mean for movie lovers and the community? Let's find out. The executive director of Milwaukee Film, Susan Kearns, joins us live in the studio. Great to have you here, Susan.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So Milwaukee Film has been operating the Downer Theater since 2024. In fact, we had the interim executive director on the show when that transition happened, and that was a big step. But this is even bigger. Why was owning the Downer so important for Milwaukee Film's long-term future?
Well, we feel like, or we have learned actually in the last year and a half since we've been operating it, just how crucial it is to the Milwaukee Film Festival, to our year-round operations, and really to the neighborhood and the city as well. So we had a rental agreement. The owners of the building prior to us, they were not a local company, and we understand that, they're in the business because it's a business, right? So we were basically just very concerned that if we didn't purchase this theater, what might happen to it? We have found over the past year that basically when people come to see movies, for every $1 that they spend in a movie theater, they spend another $1.50 in the area around the movie theater. So in addition to this being a great thing for Milwaukee Film, for our earned revenue, for the film festivals to be able to continue to operate, we're also kind of a key business component, a key, to the whole neighborhood, because we're bringing people in from other parts of the city, from other parts of the nation to this Downer neighborhood.
A lot of nightlife activity in that area. It kind of speaks to what you're mentioning here. You've got it in control, right? Now it's time to figure out how to maintain its historic charm, but also modernizing it in some respects, right? This is an ancient theater. It's been around forever, so I'm sure not everything is how it should be. But that's part of the goal here, to try and retain that historic charm. How do you phase this process out of maintaining that charm, but also making sure it is fit for 2026?
Yeah. So, one of the things is obviously like the bathrooms come up over and over. People love the charm of the little lounges that are attached to them, but the actual facilities, that's an easy thing that we can upgrade. But what we want to do is also bring back some of that 1915 charm. I think about it every time I walk in because when it was renovated in the 1990s, they went with, for example, this like deep burgundy kind of paint.
Yes.
And even looking at those doors when I walk in, it's like, what is, immediately I think we can elevate this space by going back to natural wood. And it seems like such a simple choice, but it's immediately going to change the feel of the space. And then there are other things that we can do too. We want to bring in the best projection capabilities and sound capabilities. We want to bring in accessibility. There's this great thing called a hearing loop that you can actually put into the floor of theaters. And so people who use things like hearing aids can tap directly into the hearing loop so they don't need additional assistive devices when they watch movies. We can do all of that stuff while still maintaining this historic charm.
So what's the timeline for the renovations? And then when we talk about all these great things that you want to do and plan to do, obviously there's a cost with that. Mm-hmm. So how are you hoping to raise money?
Yeah, so the timeline, we won't start any renovations until 2028. And it would be after the Milwaukee Film Festival in 2028. The total dollar amount that we're looking to raise is $8 million. So that will cover all of these phases of renovation. We are doing that, through different kinds of fundraising initiatives. Obviously, just a lot of discussions with folks that we know are invested in the neighborhood, in film going, in the arts and culture sector that Milwaukee has to offer. And then we'll just, be doing different kinds of outreach as well. We have a silent auction during the Milwaukee Film Festival, the Real Impact campaign, things like that. So eventually we will have a Take a Seat campaign where people can get name plaques for seats in the Downer Theater as well, but that's going to be a little bit later in the process.
Don't you sit in my seat, Greg. It's got my name on it.
Susan, are there ways you can enhance the film viewing experience too? Once the lights go down, are there things that you can do inside the actual theater space?
Yeah. One of the things that we have learned that our audiences really, really want is actually 35 millimeter film, like being able to watch film on film again. And, everybody went to digital projection at some point. And so that's something when we do the renovations to the projection booth, we'll bring back 35 millimeter as well. Then there are also obviously all kinds of upgrades we can do in terms of like the image quality itself and masking. Right now, if you look in the North Theater, you can see by the curtains, there's actually a pulley system.
Oh, that's great.
So during the festival, we have to hire somebody to stand up there and, actually pull the pulleys during shorts programs and things like that. It's very charming, but there is a more modern way to do that.
Yeah, and that all comes with cost. We were just talking before during the commercial break. Milwaukee Film paid $1.55 million in its recent Downer Theater purchase. That's a lot of money, and I'm curious because I love the charm. I live on the east side, so I absolutely love the charm of the Downer Theater and the Oriental. But also, I think there's a challenge with getting people out to the theaters these days, too. I mean, we kind of saw the changes take place with COVID. So when it comes to operating expenses and all of your plans, how much is the theater actually raising these days? And this is so exciting, but I imagine there's also a challenge as well there.
Actually, we have found that 2025 was a really good year for us in terms of movie audiences. We have found because we're offering programming that you're not seeing at every single multiplex, and we're doing a lot to eventize our different kinds of the screenings that we have. We work with a lot of community partners so that we make sure that we're reaching the right audiences for the right film. And so we do offer just unique opportunities. And so that is really helping us bring folks in. 2025 was actually a rebound for a lot of people in the movie industry. And we're continuing to see studios understand that they want to be able to show things on 35 millimeter film, on 70 millimeter film, and to work with these sort of charming theaters that have these unique experiences. So I think we actually have a lot of growth opportunities there.
Some of my favorite experiences have been kind of a recut of an old classic. When I say old classic, I go back to like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but they'll have a character come in and speak on what it was like making that movie and working with Matthew Broderick. Are there interesting opportunities like that available too? I feel like Milwaukee is They love that sort of behind the scenes of the film that they grew up watching. Yeah, you could show it again, but why not have somebody who was actually in it there as well to add texture?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that we really started to bolster last year. We had a number of different, directors, writers, actors, people like that come in. One example is Michael Schultz. He actually was born and raised in Milwaukee, and he directed films like Car Wash and The Last Dragon. So we brought him in, and we're now honoring him with an annual Michael Schultz Award.
That is fabulous. For people who have not been to the Downer in a while, how would you describe the neighborhood and I guess the importance of permanent local ownership for the Downer Avenue corridor?
Yeah, I think it's just really crucial because that space is so unique with all of the locally owned restaurants and the bookstore and the grocery store, and people can come and grab a coffee or a glass of wine and go to the movie or stop afterwards and grab some groceries. And what we're doing is kind of preserving this classic Americana experience for generations of Milwaukee folks to come.
So cool. It's been a while. I think I remember seeing, going out in that area, seeing like, Rocky Horror Picture Show is going to be at the Downer tonight. And it was not hard to tell that Rocky Horror Picture Show was going to be at the Downer. You didn't need to see it on the marquee. You just kind of knew just walking around. But it is such a vibrant area, and it's such a part of the fabric here of Milwaukee. And being on the east side, it's so charming. I'm glad this is staying as is, but I'm glad it's getting modernized for the future because you'd love nothing more than to get another 100 years and another 100 years after that.
Yeah.
In that wonderful space.
That's our goal.
A new special chapter for Milwaukee Film. Thank you so much. That's Susan Kearns, the executive director of Milwaukee Film. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Time right now is 12:25. Coming up next, local news and your top national headlines as well.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Og Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Og Prep North, made for more. Apply today at ogprep.org.
Hey, why not make things easy and delicious tonight? Greg Matzik here. Palermo's. That's it. Wisconsin's hometown pizza. If somebody asks, hey, what's for dinner? Why not Screamin' Sicilian? Head to Piggly Wiggly. Now through the 10th of March, you can stock up and save here. It's Screamin' Sicilian for $4.99. Wow. How about that? Screamin' Sicilian pizza, $4.99 now through the 10th of March at Piggly Wiggly. Pick up a variety of Palermo's frozen pizzas. Test them all out. There's a slice for every appetite. Wherever you like to shop, you will find it. It is Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavidi. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are, but here's the good news. QC Kinetics patients right here in Milwaukee are getting relief, like me, feeling younger, hope so, jumping back into life full speed, and it didn't happen in an operating room. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics, medical professionals all the way, use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your own body, concentrate them right where you need relief. That's how. Let's say Mike is training for a marathon instead of giving up running. Kathy walked around Disney with her grandkids. Alan's back to work, now climbing ladders, no big deal. All real QC Kinetics patients. The sooner you start with treatment, the sooner inflammation eases and the sooner joint damage slows down because no one signs up for feeling older faster. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Your visit and consultation is free. 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. 20 to 30 pounds. How about a month or two? Call for your free weight loss consultation. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180. Or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Wednesday, March 4th. Your top story, not happy with a vote on sports betting.
I'm Jessica Ty. Legislation to make health care more affordable.
Partly cloudy today. Inland high 54, 46 near the lake. Chance of rain tonight, a low of 36. Scattered showers likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Could hear some thunder, maybe see some lightning on Friday with a high of 60.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. For the first time in 5 days, the White House giving a briefing on the U.S. and Israeli airstrikes on Iran, killing Iran's supreme leader. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt calling operations so far a success.
President Trump is holding these monsters accountable and permanently extinguishing their nuclear ambitions.
The Pentagon today says it's working to gain control of Iranian airspace. It comes as Iran continues drone and missile strikes throughout the region, leaving thousands of Americans stranded. The State Department now working on evacuation plans and flights, but trapped travelers have had to carve out ways to secure limited commercial flights. The conflict in Iran affecting gas prices here in the U.S. According to Gas Buddy, prices jumping 13 cents overnight.
We are not just talking about prices at the pump here. Economists we've talked with say within days or weeks, we could see prices for some other goods, including food, go up because of those higher transportation and fuel costs, too.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. A gambling industry group puts Wisconsin lawmakers on blast over a voice vote on a sports betting bill.
Sports Betting Alliance President Joe Maloney says lawmakers worked behind closed doors, calling the process another example of backroom dealing. The bill would create an exemption in state law to allow mobile sports wagers in Wisconsin. It would require the service processing the wagers to operate on tribal lands and follow existing gaming compacts. The Betting Alliance argues the plan could limit competition for other sportsbook operators and reduce consumer choice. The measure heads to the Senate, where its path forward remains uncertain. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Democrats are introducing legislation that aims to make health care more accessible. Lawmakers say Badger Care public option would extend coverage to more residents and make health care more affordable. State Representative Tara Johnson.
This bill provides genuine relief to our neighbors, 52% of whom delayed or skipped health care visits or procedures this year due to high pricing.
It would also expand Badger Care enrollment to businesses with fewer than 50 workers.
Kenosha police released body camera footage of a man being rescued from the ice. Officers were responding just before 1 o'clock Friday of last week near 7th Avenue in Sheridan.
I'm going to try to pull you out, all right? Just lay on your stomach, lay on your stomach. If we got to take a break, we can take a break, all right?
The man was able to grab the water throw bag with a rope attached to it and was pulled to safety from the water.
The Justice Department settles a sexual harassment lawsuit against a Green Bay landlord. David Jones and D. Jones Property has agreed to pay $50,000 after Jones allegedly sexually harassed a female tenant in violation of the Fair Housing Act. The Justice Department claims Jones, who manages multiple rental properties in Green Bay, made unwelcome sexual comments, entered the woman's home without her permission, and moved to evict her when she asserted her rights under the Fair Housing Act. The settlement also requires Jones to attend fair housing training and have 2 years of monitoring by the Justice Department.
Well, bone density is a major health concern for aging adults. Assistant professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. Julia Rose Sheriff, says vitamin D and calcium are the most important nutrients for maintaining bone density, telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
I'm guilty of getting these kind of targeted ads now about bone supplements. So typically I tell people if you can get calcium and vitamin D from your diet, that's the best way. But sometimes we can't. Sometimes if people have a dairy intolerance, things like that, it might be more difficult. So supplementation is really the simplest, the better.
Sheriff says adults over the age of 65 should receive regular bone density scans.
They stand tall, but are they standing together? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you love the way your home looks? When you pull in, do you think, wow, the old homestead looks fantastic? Or do you notice that the siding's all faded and the roof is kind of falling apart? Well, Tri-County Contracting can help make it look the way you truly want it and make you love it. The website is tricountycontractingwi.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Hey, get ready to bowl. Join us at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls on March 7th. It's Bowling for Babies presented by Gruber Law Offices. Such a cool idea here and a great cause. We are raising money and bowling on March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. If you'd like to join us, we still have room for a few more teams, so get that group of 4 and sign up. Text the word baby to our talk and text line, 855-616-1620. We'll get you all the information. You can sign up, and then we'll see you March 7th at Village Bowls this Saturday in Menominee Falls. Bowling for Babies, presented by Gruber Law Offices. Bowling to raise money for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers, where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Cactus League season resumes for the Brewers this afternoon in Arizona, taking on the Cubs. We'll have it for you today with coverage beginning at 2 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Bucks' 5-game homestand continues tonight against Atlanta. Bucks forward Bobby Portis hoping the team bounces back after 3 consecutive blowout losses.
22 games left. Obviously, a lot of ground we have to cover to get into a play-in situation. New waters for us, new uncharted waters for us. Really not used to being in this situation, but just staying together is big.
Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 8 o'clock. College basketball, UW Green Bay Phoenix men's team advances to the second round of the Horizon League tournament with a win over Purdue Fort Wayne. Milwaukee Panthers take on Detroit Mercy tonight in Michigan. And Marquette wraps up the road portion of the Big East schedule tonight at Providence. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Disabled vehicle after disabled vehicle. The cars are breaking down today. We have 7 reported on the system right now. Throughout the system, 1 down in Kenosha County, 4194 North, very close to the ramp from Wisconsin 142. In that case, the right shoulder is blocked. Most of these other ones are not causing any problems, but I will let you know about this one in the city. It's at a busy spot. I-43 south at the ramp from Wisconsin Avenue. Left shoulder blocked in that case due to another car that's broken down.
Partly cloudy today. Inland high 54, lake high 46. Chance of rain tonight at a low of 36. Rain likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Could see or hear some thunder showers on Friday with a high of 64 inland, 60 near Lake Michigan. It's 43 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:38. 12:39 on a Wednesday. Time to check in with our favorite CBS congressional correspondent, 90s R&B aficionado. It's our friend Scott McFarland from the nation's capital. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Greg, I want to give credit. Gina was trying to find a difficult one. She was trying to stump me. She has failed.
Wow. There we go. What do we got here?
That is Jeff Redd, who was actually a producer more than he was a singer, but he wrote such a nice little song, he decided to sing this one himself, and he had a big hit. It was called You Called and Told Me. It is from 1991.
Really? That was a big hit? Because I'll be honest, I was thinking, I wasn't really feeling this one, Scott. Every time, I know you can't really see us, even though we are streaming, so some people can, but I'm always jamming when these songs, in fact, I said during the commercial break to Greg, I can't wait to hear the song today, but this one, I started jamming, and then I'm like, I don't know.
Taste, Jess. It's an acquired taste and will come to you over time.
Okay, I'm going to trust you that it was a hit. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, me either. Scott, I just had this vision in my mind. I'm looking up at our TV monitors, and I see Caroline Leavitt talking right now. There's a White House briefing amid the war with Iran, this on CNN, which it frequently is. I suddenly had this vision of you running out of the room to take our call. Hey, do we ever disrupt you from things like this? Are you usually in this room for this kind of briefing?
No, those things disrupt me from you.
Yeah.
No, let's be clear about that. And by the way, you know you've been married almost 25 years and you're dropping lines like that on people. That line always works at home. No, it's not. It's not a disruption at all. And I'll tell you, one of my managers here always says it best. Yeah, there's crazy news days. There's crazy news hours. Take the time you need because you know what? The crazy's not going anywhere. There'll be more news the second you get back on some front in some way in some place.
So, Scott, today the Senate is set to vote on a bill that would direct the president to remove American forces from hostilities in Iran. The resolution would require that any more fighting be authorized by Congress. So what happens exactly if this passes?
It's not going to pass. We'll start with that. At least it won't pass this time. I think the supporters of this bill are hoping they can chip away at this over the coming days and weeks. So you'll start the voting today, put a line in the sand. Maybe more people join you the next time. That vote's going to happen at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. here in Washington. And I'd expect maybe 1 or 2 Republicans to join the Democrats on this, but you need a whole lot more than that. You need about 10. And that's not going to happen today. So for now, the president will continue unmitigated by Congress with the military actions in Iran. But you better believe this is not the last we'll hear from Congress on this.
Has there been backlash along party lines or bipartisan on this issue, Scott?
It's a little mushy. I mean, mostly it's been party line, which, by the way, when you're fighting a major military battle, some would characterize as war, and it's going down party lines. It's kind of disconcerting, if not disorienting to begin with, but that's where we are. That being said, there are some Republicans who've been bullish on Congress reasserting its authority. They have to authorize these things. It has to go through Congress, and Republicans, at least some of them, are on board with that. But there are also at least a handful of Democrats who say, you know what, this is important, it's urgent, and it's righteous, and we can get to the congressional authorizations when time comes.
Speaker Mike Johnson has strong feelings about this. He said, we know and history will record that we did the right thing. I think passage of a war powers resolution now would be a terrible, dangerous idea. What are some of the other passionate pleas on the other side?
That if you don't reassert your authority as Congress under Article 1 of the Constitution, that you don't necessarily get it back, that it could be gone in the long term, and that the future presidents can trample over Congress and Congress's constitutional rights. But, and there's always a pushback on these, but this could shift This is fluid. I mean, you're watching military actions on your TV each day and each night. And if there are casualties that amass, if there are costs that amass, if Iran decides it's going to try to starve out the opposition by making this a very difficult and very expensive fight to fight, some of that could change.
So, Scott, one of our teammates, Steve Scafidi, is in Egypt. He is on a tour with some people he travels with in Egypt. And, in fact, their trip got shortened. He'll be flying back about a week and a half early. He said the increased security in Cairo was easy to notice. Like, it was a unique experience, though he said he felt safe. I do wonder here in the United States, as we have kind of instigated this over the last 5 days, do you notice a security increase or a different posture of security in the nation's capital?
Yeah, we'll start with the Capitol itself, where the House Sergeant at Arms sent out a memo that I got a hold of yesterday that said they are enhancing their security regimen, their security protocols. And what that means is maybe you see more U.S. Capitol Police officers, maybe you see some tougher checkpoints. And we've got metal detectors all throughout this city. And how robustly you push people through those metal detectors is somewhat shifting. You can make it very, very very, very tight at those checkpoints. That's what's happening. They haven't put fencing up around the White House or Capitol beyond the normal perimeters, but that could increase too. I think there's a recognition here that there are sleepers throughout the world that are there on behalf of Iran, and that Iran could try to mobilize them inside the countries that are supporting this military effort.
We're talking with CBS News Justice Correspondent Scott McFarland. Scott, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is testifying before a House committee today. This is day 2 of this. I feel like we should explain to people why she's testifying, because this is really just part of routine oversight, correct? I think some people might remember that letter from Democrats demanding that she go before questioning, but that's not what this is about, even though they are getting some of their questions answered.
No, this is kind of like a root canal for people involved. So, why are we doing this thing? Why are we going through this pain? This is a requirement. Congress has the power, at least they still do, to authorize and appropriate, which means they can authorize the spending of all money on behalf of taxpayers for federal agencies, and they must decide how and what to spend the money on. So if you're a member of the cabinet, you've got to go before Congress every now and again, answer their questions, explain your priorities, and make sure you get the money you need, because Congress handles the money. But this has become pretty vocal, even by congressional hearing standards, pretty personal, pretty visceral, even by congressional hearing standards. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is a flashpoint. The ICE agent shootings in Minneapolis are a flashpoint, but so too are the small things, like the taxpayer-funded ads featuring Kristi Noem that you've seen either on your TV or maybe at the airport checkpoints. There's concern this is squandering of taxpayer money.
They're so produced.
Yeah, they're well produced. They're done well. So there's a concern that's squandering money. Also, she has procured new air travel that looks luxurious to members of Congress, and people are wondering why taxpayers are footing the bill for that. So they're going off in several different tangents, and if you ever watch a congressional hearing, it's truly the most schizophrenic thing you'll ever see. They're all over the place. You don't know what's coming next. You don't know where they're going next. It's not a good thing to watch if you like cohesive, normal narratives. It just jumps all over the place.
Well, it's definitely a collection of things that led to this point. My wonder, Scott, is what happens after these House committee testifying, right? I mean, she's getting grilled from all different directions, and there's props and visual aids that support what people who are arguing against the things she's doing are bringing to the table. Then what? What happens after these things end? Are there motions to have her removed? Is it business as usual? What happens?
There are already articles of impeachment in legislation calling for them that have been drafted by Democrats. They don't have Republican support, not a one. There are going to be efforts to, use this Kristi Noem testimony by supporters of Immigration and Customs Enforcement to plus up their funding. They need more money. Moreover, we still are in a partial government shutdown, and the agency that remains shut down is hers. So maybe they use some of this hearing as arguments to or for or against reopening that part of the government. But you want to know the real answer as to what these are really for? Well, look at those visual aids, those placards, those big signs they put up as they ask their questions, and listen to some of the energy in the questions and the answers. It seems quite clear to me members of Congress are looking for social media clips, things they can socialize to their supporters, they can socialize among their party to try to raise their profile or raise the profile of the issues they're raising.
Noam started her opening statement with an emotional appeal to angel families, and some of those families are actually sitting behind her. Can you explain to our fans who are not familiar what exactly angel families are and what Noam had to say?
Angel families were also very commonly seen on the campaign trail along with Donald Trump in 2024. He invokes them often. Angel families are the families of victims of crimes that were committed allegedly by undocumented immigrants. And they're called angel families because they've lost a loved one to an undocumented immigrant. Angel families have done their part to advocate for stricter immigration enforcement in America. And as the Trump administration takes a political beating for the overreach by some ICE agents in the country, they are getting some support from angel families who say that this focus on immigration enforcement is wise and could be life-saving.
So Bill and Hillary Clinton were deposed separately about 9 hours behind closed doors regarding their connection to Jeffrey Epstein. What happens next, Scott, right? Is there a long list of other individuals who will be meeting behind closed doors?
Sure are, and Bill Gates will be one that's on the list next. Bill Gates' name has surfaced in the Epstein files. He's denied any wrongdoing, but it did seem like his association with some of the conduct in the Epstein files may have impacted Bill Gates' former marriage. They have their sights set on him and some other people who may have been in the Epstein orbit, none of whom has yet been accused of criminal wrongdoing or any wrongdoing. But they continue with this. This boulder is still going to roll down the hill, Greg. This story is not going anywhere. And I think Democrats are going to use this as fuel for their fire that they believe Donald Trump should be called to answer questions to.
Very interesting stuff as always. CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarland joining us from the nation's capital. We appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the week, Scott.
Talk to you next week, guys.
Yep, you bet. It is 12:50 here on WTMJ.
Save big on home updates at Menards. Transform your floors and walls with stylish Mohawk porcelain tile. 12 by 24-inch urban forged tiles combine a bold modern look with the timeless beauty of natural stone for a stunning result. Plus, they feature Step Sure, an advanced slip-resistant technology providing safety without compromising style. Save big money on Mohawk porcelain tile. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Well, the story of Horicon Bank is an impressive one. 130 years of business. 130 years. That is not an accident. That means Horicon Bank understands you. They understand your business. They understand what the community needs. And they are expanding Horicon Bank. It started as a single branch right there in Horicon. People in Wisconsin were going to work. They needed a community-minded bank back in the late 1800s. Well, here we are in 2026, and Horicon Bank is still opening doors with new branches popping up in Wauwatosa, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, increasing its footprint, but not decreasing its service. In fact, service and products go hand to hand at Horicon Bank. They always have. They still do. Together doing good. That's the vision. They are committed to doing what it takes to get that business of yours off the ground and meeting its cash flow needs. It's Horicon Bank. Connect with them. Wonderful people and 130 years of doing banking the right way. Member FDIC.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
A Friday Lenten fish fry is a family tradition, but don't wait until Friday. The Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford serves their Lent fish fry every Wednesday and Friday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Lent Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry is all you can eat, $8.99. you'll pay at least twice that at other restaurants. Kids and grandkids under 5 eat free Sunday through Thursday from that great kids menu. That's right, free. You can build your own big burger. How about a delicious chicken sandwich today, under $10? Desserts are buy one, get one free, and I love their desserts. There's no restaurant inflation at the Mine Shaft. Don't cook today. Enjoy the all-you-can-eat Wednesday Lent fish fry for $8.99. Cocktails, beer, appetizers, half price Monday through Thursday from 2 till 5 at the bar only. The Mine Shaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near EAA. Walk on in today for your Wednesday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry, $8.99. Service begins at 10:30. Dine early.
54 degrees, your high inland today, 46 near the lake. Could see some sprinkles tonight. Rain is likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Possibility of thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 64, inland 60 near the lake. It's 44 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:54.
It is now a rule on United Airlines. Put your earbuds in or risk a ban. ABC's Sherry Preston has the details.
From now on, when the flight attendants go down the aisle asking who wants headphones, if you forgot yours, you better say yes, at least if you're flying United. The airline has implemented a new rule that a lot of people will likely applaud. Passengers who don't use their headphones while listening to audio or video could get kicked off the flight and face a permanent ban from any more United flights ever. The rule is also in United's fine print. In other words, when you buy your ticket, you're agreeing to it.
I never understand when people listen to a movie on a flight or they're listening to music without headphones. I always think it must be a mistake. Like they must not realize they forgot. There's no way they're really doing this, right? And everybody is listening to it.
Well, how could you even hear it, right? You just think about how loud it is, just the ambient noise on a plane, right?
Oh, no, because they have the volume up. So they
exactly.
can hear it, and so can
even
the rest
then,
of us.
Sometimes you jack the earbud level, and it's still kind of hard to hear. So I like the over-the-ear, like the noise cancellation. Like I like that. It's kind of quiet and serene. But yes, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why you would even try to do it?
I hope I hope one of our fans. I mean, not for the rest of us, but I hope there's one of our fans out there who has done this and can explain it. Like, well, here's what I was thinking, or here's what I wasn't thinking about, because I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Hey, have you ever been on a plane where somebody has kind of had that operation happening? Like it's just they just cranked up whatever it is they're listening to or watching.
More than once, and you kind of give it like a look back to see what's going on, and it'll be because maybe they're like, oh shoot, I forgot. I mean, I don't know how you can forget, but I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt that they forgot. But there's some people who I guess they just don't get it.
I'm glad it's officially a rule now, but how many people are going to know that it's officially a rule? Well, we'll see how the enforcement goes.
Well, we're telling you now. Here's the thing, though. If you are wearing earbuds, when the flight attendants come up and they ask you, would you like a snack or drink? When they're coming up, take those earbuds out so that you don't have to say, what, and everybody can hear. They really appreciate that.
Well, you likely know why they're coming by, too. Just to kind of give the wave or, Coke, please, whatever.
Yeah. I'd like those pretzels that are the size of a fingernail, those little tiny ones.
Good.
There's 6 in a bag.
It is 12:56 on WTMJ. Yeah, get those earbuds in if you're watching reruns of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. News coming up.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. What wonderful people. Geist, they've been at it for a long, long time for good reason. If you got a busted garage door, don't let it get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. They could have a very quick fix for you. In fact, they might be able to walk you through a solution over the phone. That's right. Connect with Geist. Could save you some time and money. Brands like CHI and LiftMaster are in stock and ready to go for you. They have what it takes to account for all of your garage needs. Swift and reliable garage repair solutions are available to you by visiting Geist, their showroom in Brookfield, right off Barker Road, or online at geistdoors.com. Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Ben Bruss here from ESPN Milwaukee, and I just want to officially declare I will be dominating Bowling for Babies.
Ben, it's charity bowling. You don't get a championship ring.
There are lanes, there are competitors, and there's going to be greatness.
Okay, but more importantly, WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies is going to benefit the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
So while I'm throwing strikes,
you're helping local families get essential baby supplies.
But we are also competing for 4 tickets to a Green Bay game and a VIP tailgating experience.
Sign up today at WTMJ.com/cares.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we talk a great event, Open Season Sportsman's Expo coming up in the Dells. We talked about ATVs, UTVs, and snowmobiling, big thing in Wisconsin. We wrapped it up with a great conversation about maple syrup production in this great state of Wisconsin.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickard, your potentate of lower rates. You've probably heard mortgage rates are at their lowest in 4 years. Acunet's helping a metric ton of our clients take advantage of this dip in rates while it lasts because there's no guarantee how long this window of opportunity will actually stay open. We'd like to help you consider your refi options too. Sure, you can call your current lender for a one-size-fits-all refi that probably comes with high closing costs and no real in-depth consultation. Or you can click on the blue button for a no-pressure, expertly crafted refi checkup. We'll help you compare all your options, including our genuine no-loan cost refi, which over half of our clients choose. What about a 28 or 29-year loan instead of going back to 30 years? And how much money should you bring to closing or get back instead? Your friendly Acunet loan consultant will lay out all your options side by side and help you make the right decision for you. Find out how much you can save by clicking on the blue button today at Acunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hi, it's David Nason from The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Every Saturday morning, we talk about keeping your home in top shape. One issue I hear all the time, wet basements and foundation problems.
And that's where Accurate Basement Repair comes in. I'm Chris Mancuso, and for over 20 years, we've been The Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing.
Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Accurate Basement Repair.
We're not just good, we're accurate. Catch Accurate Basement Repair on The Fix-It Show and WTMJ.com.
They flew all the way to Milwaukee just to find out this ain't no bird sanctuary.
Crossing over, nice feed inside. Sims hammers it down with a dunk and another one coming on the house.
The Bucks and the Hawks face off at Fiserv Forum.
Giannis takes off the other way, hammers it home, a little exclamation point.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 101. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, March the 4th. Your top story, still working to get Americans out of the Middle East.
I'm Jessica Ty, calling to reject a special energy rate for data centers.
Partly cloudy today, high 54 degrees, cooler near the lake. Chance of rain this evening at a low of 36. Rain likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Could see or hear or experience some thunder showers on Friday. It's 43 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 102. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, many Americans still trapped in the Middle East and unable to leave because of the fighting with Iran. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The U.S. Embassy in Iraq is telling Americans there to leave and have a supply of water, food, and other essential items. This New Jersey woman has been stuck in Kuwait.
We can see the missiles, like, it's crazy. Nobody's feeling safe at all.
The State Department says it's working to get charter flights operating, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio says one of the biggest obstacles has been airspace closures in the region.
The efforts come as the U.S. Senate plans to vote on whether President Trump has the authority to embark on a war against the country.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is back on the hot seat on Capitol Hill today at a House hearing after a grilling from senators yesterday. ABC's Alex Malin.
This is a big contrast from what we saw in yesterday's Senate Judiciary hearing, when you saw at least 2 Republican members ask really harsh questions of Noem about her conduct in office, and those images out of Minneapolis in January, where we saw Renee Good and Alex Preddy killed by immigration agents. We've not seen that from Republican members today. Even Thomas Massie on the committee, who has been no friend to this administration through the Epstein files, he was not taking an aggressive approach to his questioning of Noem.
During her testimony, Noem addressed the impacts of the Department of Homeland Security shutdown, which started when funding lapsed in mid-February. More than 100,000 DHS employees have been furloughed.
The Milwaukee Common Council calling on state regulators to reject a rate proposal for data centers.
That is not a good deal for Milwaukeeans.
The effort is being led by Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich. The council unanimously adopted a resolution urging the Public Service Commission to reject We Energy's rate proposal for large data centers. Dmitrievich says the plan doesn't go far enough to protect ratepayers.
What are we getting out of it? We must say no. We should have said no year after year, and we must pause to reflect on this and regulate it.
The council is also drafting a resolution that would put a 6-month pause on data center development in Milwaukee. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee County Transit System is preparing to once again redesign the bus network. The move comes as the transit system continues to navigate ongoing budget issues. Chief Administrative Officer Sandra Kellner.
Getting experts brought to Milwaukee to work with us and our community, all of our stakeholders, our passengers, the board, and the union, all of our stakeholders, to say, what does a system look like that we can actually afford?
Planning would happen over the next year, then be implemented in late 2027. MCTS is projecting a nearly $20 million budget deficit for next year.
Wisconsin leaders say a new bill could determine how athletics are funded and regulated moving forward. The proposal would shift how certain athletic facility costs are paid and establish statewide rules for NIL agreements for student athletes. UW-Madison Athletic Director Chris McIntosh says the legislation is essential.
We will be forced to reconcile our revenues with our liabilities, like we always have. What I fear is that through those reductions in support of our sport programs, we'll be left in a situation in which it will be difficult, to say the least, for us to be competitive in the sports that generate.
McIntosh says the goal is to maintain Wisconsin's competitive legacy across all 23 varsity sports. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Good day going here. The Dow is up about 300 points at about 48,800. NASDAQ up about 370 points at 22,890. And the S&P up about 65 today at 6883. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
The captain makes his Cactus Crew debut. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:06.
Stop in for savings this week at Fleet Farm that'll help put winter in your rear view. Get a free $25 gift card with the purchase of $100 in Columbia, Dickies, Under Armour, or Wrangler clothing. Fire up the flavor with Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets for just $8.99 a bag. And buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper or Goodyear tires with our complete installation package and Resolute road hazard policy. Don't miss these limited time deals, only at Fleet Farm. And for even more, go to fleetfarm.com.
This is former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen with a message for my fellow conservatives about online sports betting. Online sports betting is fun. It protects kids against illegal gambling websites, and it generates billions in tax revenue. But today, Madison politicians are considering a secret deal that could give exclusive control of sports betting to one Indian tribe. One Indian tribe making the majority of all the revenue? Our Constitution requires a vote of the people on expanded sports betting, but Madison insiders want secrecy. What's worse, their plan could leave Governor Evers the sole power to negotiate with the tribes. Madison politicians want to bypass our state constitution, and it could mean less accountability with control concentrated with one Indian tribe. Tell Madison, no secret deal on online sports betting. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance.
Bowling for Babies is right around the corner. It is Saturday, March 7th, this weekend. Saturday, March 7th, Village Bowl, Menominee Falls. If you'd like to join us and raise money for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission, we'd love to have you. Still room for you as well. Get that group of 4 together and come out to Menominee Falls, Village Bowl on March 7th. Bowling for Babies presented by Gruber Law Offices. They do a wonderful job getting behind so many wonderful community initiatives, this being the latest. Let's bowl and help families in need. Text the word baby to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers resume the Cactus League season this afternoon against the Cubs. Christian Yelich expected to be in the lineup. We'll have it for you today, beginning at 2 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Bucks' 5-game homestand continues tonight against the Hawks. Forward Bobby Portis looking to bounce back after 3 lopsided losses.
22 games left. Obviously, a lot of ground we have to cover to get into a play-in situation. New waters for us, new uncharted waters for us. Really not used to being in this situation, but just staying together is big.
Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 8 o'clock on WTMJ. College basketball, the Horizon League tournament begins tonight for the Milwaukee Panthers against Detroit Mercy. Marquette wraps up the road portion of their Big East schedule tonight at Providence. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Definitely a day full of disabled vehicles. Most are not causing any problems, but there is a new crash I want to alert you to. This is in Ozaukee County, just popped up minutes ago. Unfortunately, there are no cameras in this area, but I'll tell you what I know right now. Wisconsin 57 is closed in both directions from Belgium Kohler Road to Hickory Grove Road, and that's because of a crash. So it's a small section, not very large, but it is closed in both directions. That's Wisconsin 57, closed in both directions from Belgium Kohler Road to Hickory Grove Road because of a brand new crash.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Partly cloudy today, high 54 degrees, cooler near the lake. A chance of drizzle tonight, low 36. Some patchy fog possible as well. Scattered showers on Thursday with a high of 43. Partly cloudy and breezy, chance for some afternoon and evening showers or storms. High of 64 inland, 60 near the lake. Morning rain Saturday, high of 50. Mostly sunny on Sunday, high of 57. 43 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 111.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Here we go, 111 on WTMJ. About an hour from now, we'll send you off to Arizona for coverage of the Brewers and Cubs. How about that? Brewers and Cubs, here's some Cactus League action this afternoon. And Christian Yelich expected to be in the starting lineup. Looks like a beautiful day for baseball in Arizona.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, forget the board game Battleship. This is real life. The U.S. just torpedoed and used a torpedo to sink an Iranian warship off the coast of Sri Lanka. That's according to the Pentagon. You're going to want to see this. We have the video. You can text WATCH to the Saudi Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. That's WATCH to 855-616-1620. C is the U.S. uses a torpedo to sink an Iranian warship off the coast of Sri Lanka. This is incredible to see. Look at that right there. This is the first time a U.S. Navy submarine has sunk another ship using a torpedo since the end of World War II. That was back in 1945. ABC's Luis Martinez has the details.
This is an Iranian warship that had been participating in an Indian Navy multinational exercise for the last week or so, and is apparently making its way westward. Ironically enough, the United States also participated in that exercise, but this Navy submarine was tracking it, and then, as Secretary Hexeth said this morning, this was, they thought they were safe in international waters, but they were not.
You know, this is stuff you're used to seeing in the movies, but this right here is new video just released in the Pentagon. Wow. Look at that. You see the flames, you see the waves go up. We are now 4 days into this new war with Iran. Today, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said more and larger waves are coming. He said the U.S. is just getting started. In fact, the quote was, "We are accelerating, not decelerating." Hegseth says more bombers and more fighters are arriving today.
Yeah, meanwhile, trying to get Americans home from the Middle East, that is also proving to be a bit of a challenge. U.S. job creation and salaries picking up momentum in the month of February. ABC's Jim Ryan reports.
Based on payroll data from more than 26 million American workers, payroll processor ADP says 63,000 jobs were added to the private sector workforce last month, nearly triple the number from January. The lion's share were created in the southern region, with education and health services leading the way. The ADP report finds that year-over-year, average pay was up 4.5% in February.
So private employers added on average 12,750 jobs per week in early February, accelerating from about 10,250 in late January. Wage growth is roughly stable, but studies are projecting about a 3.5% increase for the year. In terms of sectors, it's the same ones every year. I mean, healthcare continues to dominate here in job creation, while transportation and warehousing have also seen significant growth.
Number 3, and this just in, Wisconsin is taking steps to expand access to healthy food as a way to improve health statewide. Governor Tony Evers and the Department of Health Services just announced the state is applying for a national program called Food is Medicine. If selected, Wisconsin would be one of just 10 states to receive funding and support to grow services like medically tailored meals and groceries, and even produce prescriptions. What's that? Well, it's kind of like a doctor prescribing fruits and veggies for a diabetic patient. The goal is to help people prevent and manage conditions like diabetes and heart disease. People typically get a paper voucher or electronic card that can then be used at stores or farmers markets to purchase fresh produce. State leaders say with many families struggling to afford groceries right now, improving access to healthy food is a key part in improving overall health here in the state of Wisconsin.
1:15 on WTMJ. The State Department is actively securing military aircraft to try and return American citizens who are stranded in the Middle East. How is this all going down? We'll explain after this.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margot Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Hey, if you're feeling lucky, Thursdays in March are your time to shine with Lucky Rollers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Greg Matzik here. Let me tell you about it. Play with your Potawatomi Rewards card now through the 26th of March. Over 70,000 in prizes every week, drawings every Thursday, 24 winners, as a matter of fact, every Thursday night of the week up until the 26th. Winners take the stage and roll the dice for cash or reward play. It's only at Potawatomi. More info is available for you online. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play.
The Mine Chef's Wednesday and Friday all-you-can-eat haddock Lenten fish fry is just $8.99. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu Sunday through Thursday. Google, call, and reserve your $8.99 fish fry. It's the Mine Shaft. Experience the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club's Friday all-you-care-to-eat Lenten fish fry. One of the best. It's delicious. The magnificent Sunday brunch is all you care to eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Google, call, reserve today. The Fox and Hounds.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Well, Pretty nice day today. High of 54 degrees inland, 46 closer to the lake. Plenty of sunshine. Clouds could roll in later on tonight. Might see a little bit of rain. Rain is likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Thunderstorms possible on Friday. We will chat more about that with Lauren Larson coming up at about 1:35. Should be a pretty warm day on Friday. That could ignite some of those storms. 64 the high inland, 60 near the lake. It's 43 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee, approaching 118. So the State Department is actively securing military aircraft and charter flights for American citizens stranded in the Middle East, and there are plenty who are stranded.
Many of the region's airports are either completely closed or very, very limited. Now the U.S. State Department says it's facilitating charter flights, and they will be able to leave from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan for American citizens.
That's ABC News Chief International Correspondent James Longman. He's in Iraq. Meanwhile, ABC's Nicole D'Antonio on how many are stranded and the process for getting out.
As many as 1,500 Americans are believed to be in the Middle East looking for a way out.
It's a lot of different things here that need to happen in order to move people, but it all starts by knowing that you're there. It all starts by knowing that where you are and how we can get a hold of you.
For those Americans still stranded, Secretary of State Rubio has encouraged them to call the State Department's hotline. But when reached yesterday, this was the recorded message.
Please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time.
Oh, it's not terribly encouraging. They had a graphic here on CNN. Caroline Leavitt was giving a White House briefing, and it's kind of a daily occurrence. But they had steps. They had steps listed in chronological order. Here's what you do. If you are stuck in the Middle East, reach out here. Step 2, do this. Step 3, I've never seen that before. A 4-step process for how to get out of the Middle East or that general area if you are stranded and stuck.
Without a doubt. And there's some people who travel quite a bit that know the phone numbers that you should kind of just have in your cell phone, and they know the information from the U.S. Department of State, the State Department. But a lot of people don't think about that when they travel overseas. I will tell you, it's very easy to do, though. If you go, just Google U.S. Department of State. It'll pop up right now. And there are 2 big alerts at the top. One, it says worldwide caution. And there's like a triangle with an exclamation point, basically saying following the launch of U.S. combat operations in Iran, Americans worldwide, and especially in the Middle East, should follow the guidance and the latest security alerts issued by the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. And then right below that, you've got another highlighted in red with an exclamation point, Americans abroad. And it talks about enrolling in, and we told you about this yesterday, the STEP program. So there's a website. It's actually just www.step.state.gov. And there you can receive, if you enroll in that, you can receive the latest security updates from the nearest U.S. embassy and consulate. Obviously, that's very important now, but that's a good thing to do no matter what. Most of the time, you'll never need it, right? But This just shows you that you could need it. So why not? And actually, I believe it only takes you about 20 minutes to go through that process. 20 minutes is 20 minutes, I know, but it's not like it takes you an hour to do that. In fact, I did see that somewhere when I was looking to see what exactly you need to do. It said just takes 20 minutes to enroll. There's also a phone number right there, travel.state.gov.
Egypt is technically a country in northern Africa, but it is also considered part of the Middle East. Egypt actually borders 3 countries, Libya to the west, Sudan to the south, and Israel, along with the Gaza Strip, to the northeast. And Cairo is the largest city in Egypt. It's located in that northeastern portion of the country. In fact, Egypt is the only country that links Africa to the Middle East by land. Everywhere else, water. You got to do water to get across to get into that part of the world. Well, we spoke yesterday with Steve Scafidi, who was on a group trip in Egypt. He is in Cairo right now.
You would not be able to tell that any of this was going on because the staff was friendly, with one exception, lots of security. Not only is it in the hotel, it's around the city. Because of the group that we're in, we also have armed guards with our group. So whether it's a bus ride or wherever we're doing walking around, you have armed security, which obviously is about as much as you can do with a small group wandering around the city.
So Steve arrived in Egypt Sunday morning. The trip itinerary was for 2 weeks. He texted me this morning saying the remaining days of the trip have been canceled and he's scheduled to fly home tomorrow.
Scheduled to fly home. I think
scheduled.
That's the
big
key
word.
too. Yeah, because a lot of people are saying, okay, well, we're booking these flights, but we're booking flights that don't take off.
Well, everything at Cairo is operational, right? The airport has not been shut down. However, it is such a major hub for that part of the world where flights that may have come out of Jerusalem or Jordan or anywhere else kind of in that general area in the Middle East Well, those flights have been canceled, right? So now you got the residual issues in Egypt. So it really is a mess at the airport, and I can only imagine he's going to be in for it tomorrow. Let me think. It's about 11 o'clock right now. Another about 8 hours ahead. So 9:30, close to 9:30 right now in Egypt. He is scheduled to leave tomorrow morning. But widespread delays, hundreds of cancellations at a major airport in that part of the world.
Yeah. The good news is, if we look at it with some numbers, there are some 9,000 Americans who have already successfully returned to the U.S., so some people are making it home okay. This was a number yesterday, late last night. The State Department spokesperson said the government was currently in contact with 3,000 travelers. But it's interesting to go onto social media, too. It just shows you what it's like in 2026. On TikTok, you can go and you see all these videos of people just stranded. Dubai is a popular airport, too, so a lot of people who are stranded in Dubai, and there's videos like this woman I'm looking at right now. I mean, she's got to be maybe 20, 21. She's like, just a girl stuck in Dubai, showing what's happening at the airport right now.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if Steve is able to get out on time. We're going to stay in touch with him tomorrow. It's a long flight back, of course, but he is scheduled to leave tomorrow. You never know when something like this could happen. A lot of times I will scoff at the idea of travel insurance, and I usually click no or don't opt in for that, especially traveling within the United States. I just don't think about it. I did insure our trip that my wife and I took abroad a couple of years ago, just because it was maybe a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and I wanted to make sure that we were covered in case something went wrong. We also learned a lesson when the borders were shut, and Italy was essentially shut down. If you were outside of the United States when COVID first started, good luck getting back in. And my wife's family was in Italy, and we had to pay a lot of money to get them back home, which we were certainly happy to do. We were glad they were home safe, but they kind of put in the back of my mind, maybe look at insuring that trip if you're going overseas.
Yeah, I know a couple who was leaving for the Maldives for their honeymoon, and the woman got COVID, and the husband was like, I was thinking about getting that travel insurance, but didn't, because normally we don't need it. And then in that case, could have used it.
Yeah, something to consider, that is for sure. Well, we hope Steve is safe. We hope everybody trying to get back is able to do so, but certainly some challenges and hurdles to clear. It is 1:25. We'll call it here on WTMJ. Reminder, Brewers baseball coming up at the top of the hour, 2 o'clock. It's the Brewers and Cubs this afternoon. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit froedtert.com/ortho.
Jessica Ty here for Steinhoffel's. During Steinhoffel's Make It Your Own event, creating furniture that fits your style is easy. Choose your fabric, select your finish, and add the details that make it yours. Right now at Steinhoffel's, you'll save at least 10% off store-wide. Then you can take an extra 5% off special order and in-stock items, $999 or more. And if you need design help, you can get up to $200 off Steinhoffel's Decorating Solutions packages. Shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
Ben Bruss here from ESPN Milwaukee, and I just want to officially declare I will be dominating Bowling for Babies.
Ben, it's charity bowling. You don't get a championship ring.
There are lanes, there are competitors, and there's going to be greatness.
Okay, but more importantly, WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies is going to benefit the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
So while I'm throwing strikes,
you're helping local families get essential baby supplies.
But we are also competing for 4 tickets to a Green Bay game and a VIP tailgating experience.
Sign up today at WTMJ.com/cares.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Suspect is now in custody, connected with his sexual assault last week near the Marquette campus.
Eric Billstad.
A lot of questions about what happened at the border. A government drone shot down by the U.S. military in southwest Texas.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We got a little bit of a backup heading through the stadium interchange on westbound 94.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It is Wednesday, March 4th. Your top story. An officer resigns before his court appearance.
I'm Jessica Tide. The governor wants changes to federal hemp laws.
Partly cloudy today, high 54 inland, 46 near the lake. It is 43 in Milwaukee.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. 5 days into the conflict in the Middle East, the White House urging travelers to sign up with the State Department website to let them know they want to leave. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pushing back on reports as the State Department scrambles to finalize evacuation plans that they're not doing enough for travelers. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Beirut, Lebanon, and says Iran is targeting civilians across the region.
One thing that struck me about what Caroline Leavitt said is she kind of put the onus on travelers. Before this happened, she said, the State Department was putting out a lot of signs. There was a lot of level 4 travel advisories in the area. Well, to what countries? Level 4 travel advisories, sure, in place to places like Yemen, sure, but I actually looked this up a few minutes ago. The UAE, which is where Dubai is located, had a level 2 travel advisory on February 27th, one day before this all started. Level 2 travel advisory is the same travel advisory that's in place for most of Europe.
The State Department says it's now aware of more than 17,000 Americans who have safely returned to the U.S. since fighting began. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A Milwaukee police officer accused of misconduct has resigned. 33-year-old Josué Ayala submitting his resignation ahead of his initial court appearance this afternoon. He faces 1 count of attempted misconduct in public office. Prosecutors allege that Ayala used the department's Flock technology license plate tracking system to check the license plates of 2 people for personal reasons several times. If convicted, he could face up to 9 months in prison.
A gambling industry group puts Wisconsin lawmakers on blast over a voice vote on a sports betting bill.
Sports Betting Alliance President Joe Maloney says lawmakers worked behind closed doors, calling the process another example of backroom dealing. The bill would create an exemption in state law to allow mobile sports wagers in Wisconsin. It would require the service processing the wagers to operate on tribal lands and follow existing gaming compact. The Betting Alliance argues the plan could limit competition for other sportsbook operators and reduce consumer choice. The measure heads to the Senate, where its path forward remains uncertain. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Governor Tony Evers is urging Congress to modify new federal regulations on hemp.
The federal law would ban the sale of most hemp products and limit the amount of THC in those products to trace amounts. It was approved by Congress last year and is set to take effect this fall. Governor Evers says the federal hemp law would cost the state $700 million in economic impact and nearly 3,500 jobs. There are nearly 500 licensed hemp producers in Wisconsin. The governor says many of those producers could be forced to close, impacting many rural communities. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Democrats are introducing legislation that aims to make health care more accessible. Lawmakers say Badger Care public option would extend coverage to more residents and make health care more affordable. State Representative Tara Johnson.
This bill provides genuine relief to our neighbors, 52% of whom delayed or skipped health care visits or procedures this year due to high pricing.
It would also expand Badger Care enrollment to businesses with fewer than 50 workers.
A fire breaks out inside a Lambeau Field locker room.
Security was calling this in.
Is this Lambeau Field?
Affirmative. It's going to be an active fire in locker room 3.
Audio there from Broadcastify. Firefighters say the fire was confined to a small locker room inside Lambeau Field, not the Packers team locker room. The fire was quickly extinguished by sprinklers. No one was injured. Cause of the fire remains under investigation.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with a 1-carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers resume the Cactus League schedule in about a half hour. Taking on the Cubs today, Christian Yelich expected to make his spring training debut. We'll have it for you. Coverage begins at 2 o'clock. Bucks 5-game homestand continues tonight against the Hawks. Forward Bobby Portis hoping the team can dig out of its hole here. They've lost their last 3 games by a combined 75 points.
22 games left. Obviously, a lot of ground we have to cover to get into a play-in situation. New waters for us, new uncharted waters for us. Really not used to being in this situation, but to stand together is big.
In college basketball, the UW Green Bay Phoenix men's basketball team advances to the second round of the Horizon League tournament with a win over Purdue Fort Wayne. Milwaukee Panthers take on Detroit Mercy tonight in Michigan. And Marquette wraps up the road portion of their Big East schedule at Providence. Here tonight's game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. For the most part, we're dealing with disabled vehicles, but in Ozaukee County, there is a crash, and I want to let you know about this one because it is closing a road in both directions. Wisconsin 57 is closed in both directions from Belgium Kohler Road to Hickory Grove. No cameras in that area, so I can't describe how bad it is. Hopefully it's not too bad. But again, it is closed in both directions. So if you know the area, that's pretty much from the Paisley Pet Salon all the way up to the Four Paws Inn. Completely closed right now on Highway 57.
Well, pretty nice day today. Could see a little bit of rain tomorrow, and we're really looking ahead to Friday here. Temperatures warming up, but some instability in the atmosphere. You might even hear some rumbles of thunder. What are we looking at here? Let's welcome in TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson. Start with today first, Lauren. We hinted at this yesterday, but a day where it's actually a little cooler near the lake than it is inland. We've reached that part of the calendar, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking at almost a 10-degree spread. We're in the mid-40s along the lakeshore. Milwaukee sitting at 45 right now. But as you get away from the lake, the temperature's easily into the low 50s. So just kind of depends on where you are. It was extremely foggy this morning. I think that also kind of played a role with our cooler temperatures by the lakeshore because we just didn't see as much sun.
Can we just fast forward through tomorrow and get to Friday? Because Friday, I guess, well, Friday has a chance for showers too, but it could be, can we just round it up to 70 inland on Friday? That's too much, isn't it?
Yeah, we might be getting carried away a little bit there. I will be shocked, jaw on the floor shocked if we hit 70 degrees on Friday. But you know, if that's what you're hoping for, if you feel it, sure.
But let's talk about the reality of it. I mean, how high are we going to get? Because it's not too far away from 70.
Yeah, I think we'll probably make it to 64 degrees inland. I'm hesitant to go 65 because then you have to round that up to 70. But I think 64, somewhere in there, is probably as warm as it's going to get. But that is 25 degrees above average. So definitely talking some nice warmth for us on Friday. But kind of like you mentioned, it's not going to be a beautiful sunny day. We can expect really thick clouds throughout the day on Friday, looking at rain showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms by Friday afternoon and evening. Definitely some signs of spring. I'm not too opposed to a rumble of thunder, maybe a flash of lightning, but something to keep an eye on as we're we're not getting into that convective season, but there were severe thunderstorms in Illinois yesterday. So definitely starting to tiptoe into the season.
Yeah, so what does that mean, Lauren? So it seems like a little bit out of the ordinary for this time of year to have a thunderstorm. What does that convective season really mean?
Yeah, it really just, like you kind of mentioned, instability in the atmosphere. So where we're seeing really that warm, moist air creeping into southeast Wisconsin. I'm sorry if you're not a fan of the word moist, but I do think that kind of does portray.
Oh, gosh, some people hate it.
Air mass we're seeing. So as that warm air works north and into southeast Wisconsin, it's definitely coming with those warmer temperatures, but also the chance for some thunderstorms, especially as we are going to see a rapid change in our weather by Friday night into Saturday. We'll see a cold front move through, and then our temperatures are in the low 50s for Friday. So warm, moist, rainy, thunder on Friday. Still a chance for some scattered showers, but our temperatures do get a little bit cooler as we get into the weekend.
Well, what a day. We're talking about instability in the atmosphere, uncertainty in the markets. And this is a time when people just want stability. Lauren, could we get stability on Sunday? Mostly sunny and highs near 60?
Absolutely. I think Sunday is going to be a beautiful day. Like you mentioned, upper 50s, probably getting a little bit of some sunshine, helping it at least feel 60 degrees out there. I'm looking forward to Sunday. And then we have more 60s as we look towards next week. Hopefully we can have some sunny days with those warmer temperatures too.
I was just going to ask about the long range because we've had these little spots of, 50 or 60, and then it's down to, 30, 32, which is now below normal now that we're into the month of March. So I would imagine our normal is right around 40-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, exactly. It's 39 degrees today.
Okay.
That's your normal.
Yeah, all right.
But by the end of March, our normal high temperature is 49. So we climb 10 degrees this month.
I mean, these temps are looking good and just in time for the weekend so we can spring ahead. Isn't that great when we can spring ahead? So remember, Saturday when you go to bed, put your clocks forward 1 hour.
Oh, the guesswork is taken out of that. Even the microwave self-adjusts now.
Oh, mine doesn't.
Oh,
that's the one thing I need to do. I need to do the microwave, the stove, and then my car because I think I bought it in 1957.
Okay.
No, not that long ago.
Sounds good. Lauren, have yourself a good day. Appreciate it. We'll check in again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Have a good day.
Yep, you too. 142 on WTMJ. Yeah, my wife asked. We had to get new appliances.
Oh, yeah, you have all the fancy stuff over there.
We had no choice. We had like, I don't know, the stuff when we built our house that we picked out, and things aren't meant to last anymore, right? They lasted like 6 years, and everything was, we had an issue with everything. So it's like, all right, let's start over here. Let's get new stuff. But now there's like Wi-Fi built into everything, whether it should be or not. My wife asked, why do we need to have our stove and our microwave in sync? Like, why do they need to talk to each other? I was like, well, they'll always have the same time.
That's nice.
And it always self-adjusts. We don't have to touch it anymore.
Well, I will say, I do think there's a little skill involved in that. I always think about that.
Oh, yeah.
I usually do the stove first, and then I wait. So I'll say, okay, so I'll plug it in right now. Say I was doing it right now. I put in 143, and then I get the microwave ready to go, and I do 1, 4, and then as soon as the stove hits 5, I press 5 and enter on the microwave. It's got to be tight like that.
See, I don't have those kind of skills, right? I got a black belt in picking out the right Tupperware, but I can't figure out the clock
that's right.
sync. So
black belt and Tupperware picking.
Now technology does it for me. It's 144.
Hey beauties, you're invited to swing by your local Merle Norman for a fabulous eye-catching gift with purchase that's sure to make you sparkle. What's inside this gift? Only the essentials for eye perfection. Trial sizes of Brilliancy Eye Cream, eyeshadow primer, a soft touch eyeshadow duo, and soft touch eye pencil. Hurry, these goodies are only good while supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
Well, we are absolutely loving our newly designed and finished master closet thanks to the folks at Inspired Closets in Milwaukee. They helped us solve a problem. Clutter. It was a mess. Just builder-grade racking, stuff kind of falling all over the place, shoes on display, the laundry was piling up. It was really a disaster zone. Inspired Closets came out, they took some measurements, talked about what we wanted, and I like it when my shoes are concealed behind closed doors. I don't like laundry being exposed. Well, they took my thoughts and put them to paper, and then ultimately the computer, and then ultimately virtual world. That's right. We visited Dan and Katie at Inspired Closets, brought the kids along. We put on the virtual goggles and walked through the space, quite literally. That was a great exercise. We thought it was a lot of fun, but it also turned out to be true. It was a very helpful experience and exercise, and the kind of service and quality you could only get at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Nothing cookie cutter about the project. Everything, the quality, the support, the after-sales support has been nothing short of outstanding. Their crews that did the installation, kind, courteous, they were on time. Check out pictures, the before and after. They're on my Facebook page. Check me out on social media. You'll see what I'm talking about here. They took our cluttered world and removed all the clutter and all the stress. We've got a beautifully designed closet thanks to Inspired Closets Milwaukee.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory's arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Suspect is now in custody, connected with his sexual assault last week near the Marquette campus.
Eric Billstad.
A lot of questions about what happened at the border. A government drone shot down by the U.S. military in southwest Texas.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We got a little bit of a backup heading through the stadium interchange on westbound 94.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
A now former Milwaukee police officer accused of misusing police equipment to keep tabs on his romantic partner just made his initial appearance in Milwaukee County Court. So let's get you up to speed here. We're talking about 33-year-old Josue Ayala. He's charged with misconduct in public office. Prosecutors say the Milwaukee police officer improperly accessed the flock camera system while on duty, looking up the license plate of his dating partner and that person's ex to monitor their whereabouts. So flock cameras, they scan license plates, and they've helped police really across the country track down criminal suspects. They've helped crack cases. They've helped track down stolen cars. But they've also come under scrutiny in recent years over fears of mass surveillance and who can access the data. Milwaukee has 30 flock cameras up across the city right now. So Ayala is accused of looking up his partner's information more than 120 times and that person's ex more than 50 times. And I just went into the court system because, as we told you at the top of the show, I knew he was going to be in court today. He was scheduled to be in court around 1:15, so I wanted to see if there was any update. And indeed there is. So here's what happened in court in a nutshell, and I am reading this through with you right now from the court system. So there was a no contact provision ordered. That means that the now former officer, Ayala, cannot have any contact with victim 1 or victim 2. There was also a signature bond set. A signature bond was set for the former officer at $2,500. And something additional here, the court ordered him to report to the Milwaukee County Jail to be booked by 5 p.m. on Monday. Kind of interesting that I was kind of thinking maybe that would be, if they did something like that, it would be Friday. But I looked at the date here. It's the 9th, so that's Monday. If he fails to appear, a bench warrant will be issued for his arrest. So that's the basics of what we have right now. But he just was in Milwaukee County Court. And we now know he cannot have contact with either of the victims. And a signature bond was set for $2,500. He is supposed to be booked into the Milwaukee County Courthouse, or the Milwaukee County Jail, by 5 p.m. on Monday.
So you mentioned approximately 179 recorded searches. I think it's also important to point out the time frame. This is March to May of 2025. That is a max of, 61 days? 179 searches in a max of 61 days, likely fewer than 61 days. So this is quite a bit of time at work over a concentrated period with these searches. And there are prompts. If you enter the system, you don't just turn it on, right? You've got to enter information. Why are you doing this? There's a list of things and fields you have to fill out, drop-down menu and so forth, before you can really activate the system. And he was filing this under investigations, which I guess technically it was, but it was his own personal investigation and not a Milwaukee police investigation.
Yeah, prosecutors say there were no investigations on either of these people.
No, not at all. So the time frame really stands out to me. This is a max 2-month time frame, and that is a high volume of search activity. It's 1:50 on WTMJ. We've got Brewers baseball coming up in just a few minutes here on WTMJ. It is the Brewers and Cubs. Should be a good one. Nice weather day, as you might expect, in the greater Phoenix area. And always fun when the Brewers and Cubs meet up. Christian Yelich looks like he's going to make his spring debut today. We will wrap up the program, then get you out to Brewers baseball in just a few minutes here on WTMJ.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
We know that the people of Milwaukee are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Do you have a spot that's too cold in the winter, but if you jack up the heat, the rest of the house is too warm? Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Time to get Jeff and his team out to your house. Proper insulation from USA forms a thermal barrier that maintains warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer. Time to get in on thousands of dollars of government efficiency credits. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation find the grants, rebates, reductions, and they discount the cost of your project up front. Get started at usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, enjoy some sunshine today with a high of 54 degrees, inland 46 closer to Lake Michigan. Tomorrow's high 43, rain likely. Friday, we could see some increased activity. Storms are possible with a high of 64, 60 closer to Lake Michigan. It's 43 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 154. Wrapping up a Wednesday edition, a 2-hour edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Brewers baseball coming up at the top of the hour.
Well, we love flying local here in Milwaukee because it's just so easy, right, to fly to Mitchell? So easy compared to other airports across the country. But we do know a lot of you also fly out of O'Hare. And sometimes that's just because where you're going, you need to do it. So I wanted to let you know this. Today, the FAA is meeting with airlines about capping the number of flights at Chicago O'Hare Airport for this summer. The FAA decided this was necessary because the schedule at Chicago's O'Hare had ballooned above what the FAA says the airport can handle as far as the number of daily arrivals and departures looking at the summer of 2026. CBS's senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve explains.
This is a very conscious effort to avoid a situation we saw last year at Newark Airport where there were so many more flights than the airport could really handle that it was creating extensive delays and disruptions for flyers.
And here's the thing, you don't want that either. I mean, this will be interesting because if all of a sudden they're capping the number of flights and you were hoping to go out of Chicago somewhere and they're like, nope, we're going to have to cut that one, that's a bummer, right? But at the same time, you don't want to be going to an airport that's so busy and then your flight gets delayed and then there's another delay and then there's another delay. And then at the bottom line, you want everything to be safe.
No doubt. And sometimes you land in O'Hare and you find you're taxiing longer than you're actually on the airplane in flight. If you fly from Milwaukee to O'Hare on one of those little hoppers that you have no choice but to connect to go to a different city, I think I've spent more time taxiing than actually in the air. And they build in quite a bit of time in their schedule. I've never really had that many issues getting out of O'Hare with what I would call a traffic issue or a specific airline issue. There was one instance where the toilets froze, so we couldn't get on that plane. That was like
they froze.
That was bad, and that thing was going to Honolulu, so we had to make quick adjustment there. But I didn't fault O'Hare for that specifically. I've always had pretty good success, whether connecting through O'Hare or flying out of O'Hare. It's never really been, aside of being very busy, it's never really been a tremendous hassle for us. For whatever reason, I've just had good luck there.
Well, the other interesting part about this is there is an escalating turf war between United Airlines and American Airlines right now. And part of the reason for this turf war at O'Hare has to do with the leases at the airport that are tied to how much an airline flies. If you don't fly enough, you risk losing gates to an airline that does fly more. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here, too.
That is interesting. Both major hubs at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. Out of time here on the program. Shout out to Gina and her coffee drink today that did not go well. Yes, the Starbucks spring menu is out, and while Gina was very excited for that, we have learned that lavender just does not belong in coffee, and that's what they're trying to do here. It tasted like a pillow spray.
I know. Lavender is very polarizing.
It was awful.
Which, by the way, can I just get this in while we have just a tiny bit of time? It's your birthday!
It's also
Happy birthday to Greg.
So actually, I get a free Starbucks coffee today. So I guess if
you got to take
birthday,
Starbucks up on that.
Yeah, if they're going to offer, I'll gladly take it. So yes, I did get a free coffee from Starbucks today. I felt bad. I wanted to give mine to Gina because the look on her face after sipping that first sip of coffee was, oh man, I made the wrong choice here. She's trying to do something new, and it absolutely backfired. So if you see lavender, know what you're getting into. That belongs in candles and fragrances.
It's a scent.
And body wash,
but
right?
Some people love it. I feel like you either love it or you hate it. But most people know. It's part of the spring menu, by the way. They're trying to get creative, and I don't know, 2 of them have been kind of
yes, and if you see ube on the Starbucks menu
We've now learned what ube is.
It's some sort of root vegetable. It's some sort of yam.
I thought it sounded like it should be on the Thanksgiving dinner table, not in your drink.
Well,
but
exactly.
I haven't tried it.
That's the purple stuff that's foaming up in your coffee from Starbucks. Yeah, the spring menu. Here we go. Brewers baseball right around the corner here on WTMJ. Quick look at the forecast here. Should be a good deal of sun throughout the remainder of the day today. That could turn into some sprinkles tonight. Rain is likely on Thursday with a high of 43 degrees. Keep an eye out for Friday. Temperatures expected to warm up into the mid-60s inland, slightly cooler near the lake, but the atmosphere could be unstable. That could bring about some rain, maybe some thunderstorm activity for Thursday. Things calm down a little bit Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looks like a pretty good weekend on tap. I don't see any 30s in the forecast, and that is a good thing. Let's get you out to Arizona for Brewers baseball. Coming up next, it's the Brewers and Cubs right here on WTMJ.
Brewers fans, as you're cheering on your favorite team, leave your home comfort to Carrier. Whether it's keeping your current heating and cooling system running smoothly or upgrading to a new one, your local Carrier dealer has got you covered. Plus, now is the perfect time to step up your comfort game with